Hello, beautiful souls. I am Kara Avery, and I am welcoming you to Rooted and Rising podcast, where we're going to have conversations on love, growth, and purpose. And I'm so excited that you are here to join me on this journey. We are going to be traveling through transformation and elevation. What does that journey look like? What can you learn? What can you experience while you're having this deep dive into discovery on what's within your roots? Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to Rooted and Rising. I am so glad that you are here with us today. We are going to be talking about being rooted in intimacy, and I have an amazing conversation with an amazing woman that I actually started following on social media because I was searching and I was looking for different content and different information, so you never know what you will find. So I am here with Miss Kaycee Polite. How are you?
I am wonderful. How are you?
I'm wonderful.
Good.
I'm so excited. Thank you so much
Absolutely.
for agreeing to have this conversation with me.
Yes.
I have followed your content for a while because I was just really kind of in a space at the time of trying to understand more about relationships.
Yeah.
Trying to understand more about myself.
Yes.
As I've mentioned in a few episodes, these conversations are really it's like my own storybook, right? Because I'm really touching on spaces and conversations that have helped me to grow, have helped me to heal, that I'm currently in, right?
Yes.
I think a lot of the seasons that we have in our lives, that they're just that, right? They're seasons, and so they kind of come and they go. And so for me, I have been on this journey of healing, of reclaiming, and finding my voice.
Yes.
And so I feel like that's an important component of the conversation that we're going to have today.
Yes.
Because in that is really developing intimacy with the self, right?
Yes.
And finding that relationship. So I think that the first thing I would just love to know or hear from you is, what is intimacy?
Yes. What we're doing right now is intimacy, right?
Okay.
I think intimacy truly is an act of courage. It requires emotional honesty. It requires physical vulnerability and the willingness to be seen
Ooh.
and known
Yeah.
without pretending. And I think that intimacy, the definition of it has been, I don't know, it's not appreciated in the way that it should be,
Yeah.
right? But intimacy truly means a closeness without the fear of injury.
Now wait, we need to back up.
Okay, let's back up.
Yeah, let's back up.
Okay.
Because what we didn't do, I didn't have you introduce yourself.
Oh, yes.
Please introduce
Absolutely.
yourself to the world.
Yes. I'm Kaycee Polite. I'm a clinical social worker and a certified sex therapist. I consider myself a pleasure pusher, right? And really breaking that stigma around what it means to enjoy intimacy and closeness, whether it's emotional or physical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. Because I think it's so important when we're thinking about developing pleasure for ourselves.
Yes.
Right? And sometimes, and it's so taboo. It's been really taboo.
Yes.
Right? And we've been like, people don't want to talk about it. I think that in the world today, it's becoming much more dominant, but sexuality is, right?
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that pleasure is.
100%.
Right? I think that we have a very large lens on sexuality and how we express ourselves through sexuality and all of the things, but pleasure. And what does pleasure look like, and what does pleasure feel like? And then how do we begin to build a relationship with pleasure that feels aligned to who we are from a place of love, from a place of trust, which is that intimacy component that we were talking about, right? I think that one of the things that's really important to me is that we kind of think about, how does trust build, or how do you begin to find trust in intimate relationships?
How do you find trust in intimate relationships? So,
or should it already be there?
Yeah, that's a great question. The origin is self. And I think the biggest challenge is learning how to trust your own intuition and voice. Without that, we can't offer trust in relationships. But we don't always think about that. So we still come into those relationships wanting to feel connected and be connected. But without that personal knowing, you can't fully do it.
Oh, that's really good, because I think that for myself, and what I was literally talking to my therapist about this, was that around codependency, right? And like how we don't always acknowledge what codependency is looking like in a variety of situations, especially our relationships, right? And additionally, like how it manifests, right? In a lot of different spaces. And then when you want to, when you're coming into something, sometimes we're coming into it with a deficit, right? We're coming into a lot of these relationships from a place of deficit instead of from a place of wholeness. And we're coming in dependent upon this partner to create this environment for us, right? To be this trust, or to create trust, the trust dynamic for me, or just codependency, right? We could drop it there. Just codependency.
Period.
What does that look like when you're trying to cultivate intimacy with the self?
So here's the part that I think is difficult in our day and age with social media right now, is we're constantly comparing ourselves and seeing images, information. We are inundated with information. How do we hear our own voice if everything we hear is coming from something or someone else? So in order to cultivate that personal intimacy, we have to know how we sound ourselves. How do we know how we sound if everything that we're influenced by is said by someone else?
Ooh, that's
right?
So good. Yes.
And so it requires us to just be with ourselves.
Yeah.
That's intimacy. Shutting everything off, sitting alone quiet. People don't do that anymore.
They don't.
No. And so if I were to ask you about maybe something sexual even that you think you might enjoy, it may not come from your own self-reflection, but a movie. Something you saw, right? And it's okay for those things to inform, but it shouldn't define.
Oh, that's good.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But without separating ourselves from the noise, we can't cultivate internal intimacy with ourselves.
Oh, I like that. I like that. And I think it's so important, because how do you know what you really like?
You don't.
How do you know what you really like, right?
Know.
I think that a lot of times, and that's a gap for so many people, right? And women, especially, because you're trying to perform.
There you go.
Right?
That's it.
It's performance, right? And it's not necessarily really rooted in this component of you understanding the intimate vibration of you yourself, and then the connectivity that you can have with your partner and what
right.
that means in that co-creative act.
Yes.
Right? Because I think that that's a component of this, is that when you are bringing this into relationship with someone else, you are creating. Right? This is creation. This is how creation happens. So why would we be so cavalier with the components of it, right? You need that relational aspect with you to bring that into this process.
Yes, because intimacy requires you to be fully present.
Oh, yeah.
And if you are not fully present, the other person does not have access to you.
Ooh.
Right? They only have access to a part of you, the part that you allow them to, the part that is performance. And sometimes it's the part that we're just comfortable with or we know has already been accepted by other people.
Ooh.
Right?
That's it.
So vulnerability is tough. I struggle with vulnerability. I can talk to my clients about vulnerability until I'm blue in the face. But when it's time for me to be vulnerable, it's like, oh, wait a minute. Okay, this is a little uncomfortable. Right? Because you're emotionally naked. It's not just about the physical.
Yeah. And I had a friend I was talking to, and I was like, the fear of the judgment.
Yes, that's it.
Right?
Yes.
The fear of the judgment when
Yes.
we're talking to people, when we're entering into just conversation,
Yes.
right? And you don't want to be judged, so you bring your representative out and you show your representative and you give access to that part, and like, how so long? But then like, we're not even examining on how we're bringing that representative forth to ourselves.
Yeah.
Right? That we're not even beginning to tap at times into the vulnerability with ourselves, right? Who am I to me in the mirror, right? When, going back to that space where it's like, am I being present with myself?
Yes.
Right? And how am I being present with myself? And how do I begin to cultivate that? So I think that's my like next question is, how does someone begin to cultivate that within themselves to find intimacy with the self?
Yes. So I think a way to cultivate it is starting with exposing what you might consider your flaws to yourself. Name them. Write them down, right? And get to a place where you're okay with accepting this part of you. Can you love yourself through those things that's on the paper?
Ooh,
right?
Okay.
Because part of the pretending says, I'm really not going to pay attention to those things. I'm just going to look cute, right? Or fall on my accomplishments or my education or these other things. But I don't really want to look at my insecurities or the fears or the uneven big toe on your left foot, right? Like whatever the thing is, right? You're just
This
like,
boob is a little bit bigger than the other.
I don't want to, we're not going to look at those things. And so you can't cultivate intimacy within yourself if you lie.
Oh,
That's not being honest with you.
Yeah.
And intimacy requires emotional honesty.
Oh,
right? And so
Yeah.
we have to be able to accept those things. I think that we have to cultivate it even through personal touch. Right? Oftentimes when people put lotion on in the morning, it's like real quick. It's like, when's the last time you like slowed down? Like felt your skin? Like there is a intimacy to that you can cultivate with yourself.
It is. I know exactly what you're talking about, because one of the things that I've been doing was that in this kind of like reclaiming space that I've been in, I was like, I'm going to take care of my skin better. And in me
love
taking
it.
care of my skin better, I'm using my salt scrubs and I'm using, and I'm making it more of a ritual time for me, right? I'm taking this time for me, and I use my, my formulated cream that I really love, and I go slow, and I might play some music while I'm doing it, right? Because I'm just like, I made it as a part of a ritual to myself that I was deserving of this time to do this, right?
Absolutely.
As a mother, as a business owner, as a leader in a corporate environment, like all the things, like how often do we just sit and take times for ourselves, even for the men, even for the fellas, how do you, when you're in your grooming state, when you're looking at your beard, when you're feeling your skin, when you're putting, like you said, the lotion on your body, like how does that feel? Normally times we go fast and we're in the movement of it.
Yes. And when we're in the movement, we're not present. Again, and that's where the disconnection from self happens. But I think we need to create experiences for ourselves. Like what you described with the salt scrub and the music, you've created an entire experience.
Yes.
Right? When you date someone, particularly, you are more intentional about what you're creating for them and for yourself, to learn each other, to go on to these places and have these experiences. And that often gets lost in long-term relationships.
It does.
The experience cultivation it's just not there.
Now, speaking of that, in relationships, especially long-term relationships, how do you think that women should, I think that they lose that through time, right? So how would you say that women can begin to rekindle and reclaim that part of themselves so that they can show up better in their relationships?
So I think one of the things that we have to stop doing is over-identifying with our roles.
Ooh, oh my gosh, what?
Because that messes us up.
Say that again.
Okay.
Bring that back.
Rewind.
Yes.
Okay. So we have to stop over-identifying with our roles. When we put ourselves in these boxes, the curiosity of self is gone. We feel like we just know as a mom, I do this. As a partner, I do this. As a corporate leader, I do this. Where is the possibility for creativity?
Oh, I love that. It is. We lose it. Because we just become so entangled with those roles, right?
Yes. That's the only way we see ourselves. Right? So when you think about the times when you may have felt the most free, it's usually when we are children and we don't have any other roles or responsibilities, and we get to explore and make up games. I used to just make up these random, where did this come from? A deck of cards, and I'm like, 3 means this. Like, what? Where did you, it just becomes a thing. Because I didn't have to connect to a standard of being a specific role. And so the freedom allows you to have experiences and connect to your own sensuality. And I think in long-term relationships, when we get comfortable in those roles, we no longer explore. And we forget that we're women first.
That's true.
We're just amazing women first.
And part of that is the service to the partner.
100%.
I think, right? I think that we also sit in this space, well, he likes this. He likes me to put on this, right? But then you're like, there may be a space of something that you like, right? And how do you, have you entertained the thought of bringing that concept into discovery? Or even some of the conversations, like what you were saying around just beginning to have that discovery for yourself, because maybe it might be something that's just for you. It might not be something. It might be a ripple effect.
That's a good way to put it.
Right? It could be something that creates a ripple, but
Yeah.
it may need to start with your own discovery.
Yes.
Right? And getting back to that, and like you said, outside of your role. I think for me, I bought recently some, like, I wouldn't say sexy loungewear,
Okay.
but like really soft, delicate
Love
loungewear
it.
for the house. Because I was like, I
Yes.
don't have to be in sweats in the house.
That's
And
right. I love
when
it.
I'm here, you know, kind of chilling and
Yes.
cleaning, and I wanted it to feel a certain way,
Yeah.
right? I wanted it to be, and it's not nighty,
Yeah.
right? It's not, you know, a satin. It's a very nice soft cotton.
love
It's
that.
a short set. It has a robe, like all the things. It's
Yes.
really pretty,
Yeah.
and soft for me, but it was a way for me to explore and discover this, right? Because I was like, normally I'm just, you know, kind of putting on something, especially being a single woman now. I'm like, you know, I ain't got nobody to look good for, but wait,
You do.
me.
That's right.
Right? I'm
Yes.
like, Amelia, like something soft. You know what I mean?
right.
Like, I like the way that things can feel. So why not
Yes.
explore that for myself? Right? And so
Yes.
I think that I love what you're saying about that discovery component outside of your roles.
Yes.
I think the secondary component, or the kind of to piggyback off of that, is for women that have experienced a certain level of trauma,
Yeah.
right? Because that's something that we haven't touched on, because we've kind
Yeah.
of talked about a lot of the really great feel-good aspects of this, especially when you're developing your intimacy.
Yeah.
For myself, having been a person that had experienced sexual trauma,
Yeah.
right? I feel like that was also a component of me losing my voice, losing my guidance, losing touch with this part of me. And that part of me also carrying, because of that happened, that part of me carrying a certain level of shame.
Yes.
So when you were talking about like identifying some of these parts of you,
Yeah.
right? The parts that you need to love yourself in spite of.
That's right.
Right? The things that have happened to you in these experiences.
Yeah.
How does one begin to get into that restorative nature, knowing that they've experienced a certain level of trauma?
Yeah. I think the key word that you shared is the shame, right? Shame is probably one of the most destructive things we can do for our relationship with ourselves. And the reason it is that it is hard as an individual to disconnect from, what's the best way for me to put this? Shame says there's something inherently wrong with me.
Yeah.
It's not just the thing that happened to me, the thing I survived, the thing I did. It goes to the core. And so anything that touches the core like that now then plants these seeds that your lens of self is viewed through.
Okay.
So in order to work through the shame, and of course I'm a proponent of therapy because I'm a therapist, right? But being able to process how that shame has shaped your view of self, unpacking that is what I believe helps with that healing process.
Yeah.
And that's how you're able to then feel safe within yourself.
Ooh.
Because shame says, like, I'm not good with me. Like, I don't know if I can trust me.
Listen.
Because I don't see myself as dependable.
Ugh.
Right?
Right.
I'm stained, I'm injured, I'm wounded. Where's my strength? Where's my confidence? And so I think what I've found in practice is that a lot of women who've experienced trauma, they don't have a language around self-confidence. Right? And when I say language, that means if someone were to ask you, how would you rate your self-esteem? How do you feel about who you are? they don't know how to really talk about that. Other than, oh, I just don't have it. Or I've struggled with self-esteem.
Yeah.
But then when it comes to the why, what is your perception of self-esteem, there's no language for that. Because shame just puts an entire cloud over it.
It does.
Of unworthiness.
It does. And you can, I mean, like, and it's multifaceted, right?
Yeah.
I think my first interaction with shame came about at 18 years old when I got pregnant, right? And or at 17 years old when I got pregnant. And like it was such a bad thing based on like this situation with my family, right? And so I felt so ashamed. So that was my first interaction with shame. So now I've already got it. Now we just put it, I put the shame socks on, right? So now it's a part of me. So then now I don't have any resistance to it as it shows up in other places.
That's right.
And
that's good.
I think that it's so tough because it's like, it's so hard to pull yourself out of it.
I know.
Right?
It is.
It's really hard. And then to find safety within yourself.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a really challenging place to be, to live, to exist, right? To know, to that's where that codependency comes in, right?
Bingo. That's it.
We're looking for that protection. We're looking for that safety.
Yes, because you feel like you don't have it within you, and it requires someone else to give it and to cultivate it. But then it impacts the decision of who we choose to be with.
Listen, because I'm like, okay, maybe I need to choose the bad boy because he's going to keep me safe.
Oh, for sure.
Right?
Yeah.
He's going to keep me safe.
And he's risky and he's edgy and he's confident and
all the things that I'm not.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And then I'm just like, but there's some pieces that may be missing from him as well.
Absolutely.
And so now we both got our same shame socks on.
Yes. And typically then they're codependent on you needing them.
Ooh.
Because they're insecure ultimately. Right? And so if you're already coming in saying, whether you say it explicitly or not, they know you need to feel safe. And so they can use that. And unfortunately, that fuels what they need. And so now you're getting, the perception is you're safe. We're not really safe though.
Not at all.
No, because you know what? We can't be vulnerable.
We can't. And a lot of times in those relationships, we're not being vulnerable with each other, right? No. Because neither one of us are really safe.
Correct.
Right? So there's only, what am I showing? Like you said, you're only getting a part of me that I'm giving you access to.
Yes.
Which in turn trickles out to where we're not having fully intimate relationships with some of our partners.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So there's a part of us that we're still trying to protect. And that is actually the part in a healthy relationship that needs to be vulnerable.
Right.
That's where the intimacy is.
Yeah. I think that is like...
It's hard though.
It is. It is. It takes a significant amount of healing. It takes a significant amount of self-study. Yes. Right?
Yep.
You have to really study yourself to understand that you are walking in this place of shame. That you are walking in this place of, pain, right? And really beginning to unpack that. It's taken me years. I've been trying to find it. I was like, something is missing.
Yes.
Something's not right. Doing all the things, right? Therapy, energy healing, like all of the things, right? Because I thought that parts of it, I won't say that I was looking for something external, but that I was just like, I know that there is a hole here. And I'm trying to find out what's the source of it, right? Help me get to the source.
Yes.
And it was hindering me in a lot of ways in relationship. And I think that I've encountered so many women where they've either been formally in the sex industry, some are also just have had experienced a certain level of trauma in that category. For those that haven't, even just may have had a more, I don't want to say like promiscuous nature at some point in their life, but just maybe have made some, not so great decisions with their body and with that inhabitants. And so that's created a limitation for them, right? And also it took away some things for them. And then it also limited, I think, in that space of worthiness, who they are and who they could be if these parts of them this was excluded. Right? If this was made a little bit more sacred. If I treated this space of me as a sacred space, and it can still be a sacred space even on the other side of some of these experiences. Right?
Absolutely.
I think that's so important because when I'm looking at women, I'm very partial to women that have experienced sex trafficking. And when I'm talking to them, I'm like, you so worthy. You so worthy of all this love. You know what I mean? You so worthy of everything that the Most High has for you. So don't ever put any limitation based on an experience. That was a part of an experience, but that's not who you are. Right? So rediscover who you are and that version of who you are. And I think that's what's so powerful about finding that intimacy.
It is.
With ourselves, right?
First.
Right? Because I think it's so important because we want the healthy relationship. You've been married 14 years.
And this is marriage number 2.
Listen.
So we've experienced some things.
Wow.
And I had prior to my first marriage, I had a 9-year relationship with someone that I would say wrote the book on gaslighting. Before it was a term.
Listen. Wrote a gaslighting book.
Wrote the book and then taught other people how to do it.
Gaslighting for dummies.
And so coming out of that relationship, talk about I did not know who I was.
Oh, wow.
Period. I had who's Kate? What? Kaycee? No idea. No idea. Because so much had been internalized and defined by someone else. And what's so scary about gaslighting is it creates internal doubt. So when you talk about that voice, even when it tries to speak, you're like, no, you don't know what you're talking about, girl.
I know. Unfortunately, I know what you're talking about because I've experienced that. And I was like, it was really tough because I knew who I had been before. So I was like, why am I psyching myself out right now? Like, because something in me is telling me this isn't right. And this is incongruent. But I'm like, but maybe he's right. So now the doubt bubble is just building.
It is.
And I already had my own based on previous dialogue that was just in there floating around from before.
From your shame socks.
From my shame socks. So I'm like, it's just getting bigger and bigger, right? To a point where I think for me, it just bursts, right? And when my marriage ended, it was just like, I've said this in some videos, I was just broken open. And everything just, I wasn't broken in pieces. I was broken open. And all of that could come out, and I could see, and I was like, ooh. And I said this to a friend of mine. I was like, all the things that I had been shackled to.
Yeah.
Right? These ideas, this doubt, these shame socks, let's take them off, right? That I was connecting myself to, that I wasn't allowing in my world, the control as well, to try to find the safety.
Yes.
So I'm trying to control you, to control in my environment, so that I can try to find some level of safety, which I don't feel. So my nervous system was a wreck.
Jacked up.
Messed up. Right? How am I where are we going to be intimate with this nervous system?
You can't.
That's another thing. Let's talk about that.
Okay.
Especially in relationships.
Yeah.
The nervous system.
Yes.
What role do you believe that it plays in you being able to be present with a partner? To have some intimate time?
Yeah.
Is it helpful or harmful?
Yeah. The nervous system, when it is overactivated, is harmful. And again, when we think about the simplicity of intimacy, because it really is simple, but it's hard to allow.
Yeah.
But part of intimacy, because you have to be present, if your nervous system takes you to yesterday or tomorrow, because that's usually where it's going, right? There's worry connected to it when it gets rattled up. And so we're either preoccupied with something that's already happened, or we're afraid of something that's going to happen. And so the gap is, are you here? Hello? Are you here? Right? And so you can't be fully seen.
Yeah.
And you're not grounded when your nervous system is like that.
That's true.
And so if you're floating and the other person is trying to connect, they can't reach you.
Listen.
You're not reachable.
You're not reachable. Phone home.
E.T. Yes. Yeah.
Home.
You're not.
We need to touch fingers.
Yes.
Like, come back.
Please get your feet back on the ground.
Yeah.
But for that intimacy with self, we're responsible for getting ourselves back there.
We are.
It isn't anyone else's job.
That's so true.
They can create an environment for it, but it's still our job.
It's so our job.
Yep.
I think that's another part that's, I wouldn't say it's like a big challenge, but knowing that you are responsible for this.
Yes.
Knowing you are responsible for this healing. I was responsible for that healing.
Yes.
I was responsible for that grounding.
Yeah.
Right? I was responsible for my safety.
Yeah.
And in me knowing that, being comfortable and confident enough sometimes to set boundaries.
Yes.
With family members, with people, with, in relationship. I had a terrible relationship with boundaries. Like, I didn't know anything about them because I wasn't really taught boundaries. We're not necessarily, and not to say that it was something that I've now understood that will help me to create a better nervous system for myself. But all of this was my responsibility. Yeah. Right? One thing that did happen for me, and I think, and I would love your perspective on it, is that when I would be in the act with a partner, afterwards I would experience a lot of pain. And I felt like that was actually more mental than physical. Yeah. And I felt that my body was almost like rejecting this partner.
It's very common.
So that's kind of like my question. Like, does that happen? Because I know that I know if I experienced it in a long-term relationship, I'm sure other people have. And like, you think it's something wrong if you're in that bag, got your shame socks on. Right. You may think it's something wrong with you. Yes. And you're like, why is my body not doing, this thing? Or why is this, I've got this level of lubrication, but why is this hurting? Why is this painful? Why do I feel sometimes emotional afterwards, right? Why am I feeling that?
Yes. our body communicates to us. So I think it's important to pay attention to those things because it is the only way our body can tell us something. Since it can't talk back, we have to know through feeling. So whether that is through the pain, through the emotions, a lot of women say they cry after experiencing that. And they're like, why am I crying? I'm not necessarily sad, but when you are vulnerable like that, because it's vulnerable no matter what, there's a part of you that I think often fears the hurt. And you may just emotionally need that release. So it depends on the situation, but I know that the body has full capacity to try to tell you something.
Okay.
And so that is likely what it was trying to communicate as it was redefining your own relationship with your body. And now you're in partnership with someone, so it's trying to do that at the same time, right? And that's a lot.
That it is. Yeah, it was.
That's a lot. And we hold our emotions in our body.
We do. We do. Do you think that something like that can come up from as past traumas are bubbling up?
100%. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. Because your body remembers. Yeah.
Because I wonder sometimes, is it a effect of the current partner that you're with, or is it something else? And so it's really like, it's really investigating it.
That's it.
Right.
Yes. And being willing to ask yourself those questions. Don't brush it off. And don't try to come up with a quick answer. Take time.
Yeah. I think the next thing that is just coming up for me as we're talking is moving into the place of pleasure, right? And thinking about after I've done this work, right? After I've kind of examined, the parts of me that were missing, when I'm shifting the internal dialogue, how do I begin to explore some of the pleasure aspects of what can be, created, whether I am with partner or single?
Yes. So it starts with a mindset shift that says, I deserve it. Because without that mindset, I don't care what you do, what toy you use, it doesn't matter. You're not going to lean into it.
Yes.
If your mindset questions, should I enjoy this?
Is it bad? Like, because I know sometimes we're like, I've heard a lot of varying perspectives, and some people are like, toy, no toy. You know what I mean? Like, it's a variety of spaces when you're trying to develop that, whether you're in partnership with someone or not. So let's just say you are, is that still something that
in partnership?
Yeah, let's just say you are in partnership. Is that something that you should still, is that one of the ways for you to do that, one of the first ways, or to explore pleasure, or are there other ways outside of toy?
Oh, definitely. So toys are one of many different things that you can do to connect with. Really, it's like diversifying your pleasure.
Listen, diversify the pleasure.
Yes.
I love that.
That is the key, right? So whether that's whipped cream or a rabbit, it doesn't matter, right? Like to me, it's not about the thing.
Yeah.
It's the intention with you and your partner about what you're using it for. What do you want to create?
Listen, chocolate.
Okay, chocolate. Yeah. Right? So whether they're feeding that to you, you're licking it off their fingers, right? Connecting to the sensual aspect of it. That's what it's about.
And that's vulnerable. That's a vulnerable
Extremely. Because
space.
you are fully seen.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have I was speaking with a gentleman we had the most engaging conversation because he practices non-monogamy.
Okay.
Right? And he has a interesting theory on non-monogamy, which I actually really appreciated about him.
Yeah.
Because it was so steeped in authenticity and truth.
Yeah.
And I think that there are probably more men that would like to live that lifestyle, but aren't necessarily as authentic about the way that they want to live it. So I respected that within him so much.
Yeah.
But when we were talking about like sexual relationships and I was like, well, how does that dynamic work? And he was just like, explaining some things to me. And he was like, well, people have a kink. And I was like, ooh, tell me more. What does that mean? And he was like, not everybody's kink is the same thing.
Right.
Some people are feeling this way. And I was just like, it's such a beautiful exploration to understand. Maybe you explore finding your kink, and maybe and I feel like it doesn't have to be what we normally would think it would be.
Absolutely.
Right? It doesn't mean you have to have a foot fetish. No. Right? I mean, with your same socks. No.
Right?
It doesn't have to be that.
Right.
And I think that, I know for me, like I said, just the softness of the clothing, just the foods, certain foods that I eat are just, I create a more intimate connection with myself with certain foods that I'm eating. And the slowness.
Yes.
And the presence.
Yes.
With it.
Yes.
Right?
Aren't you experiencing pleasure when you do it?
I am.
Yes.
And I love that. And it's so nice. And it's interesting because it's free. Yes. It's such a free space to be in.
Yeah.
I've even thought about exploring pleasure with paint. Because I like to paint. I like art. And I was like, how beautiful would it be to explore that, the colors, the dynamics of that, either with self or with a partner, and like doing it in a certain format, right? Maybe I put on something sexy and I paint something, or I paint a part of the body, or I think that these, for me, when we're talking, I'm thinking about how can I begin to do more of this discovery for myself, so that when I'm in partnership, I can be like, well, because I like to try. Do you want to try this paint? You know what I mean? And maybe we're painting each other. Yeah. Right? Because there's a component to that that's still fun, and it's vulnerable, and you're just like, let's try this out. And we put our bodies on canvas.
Yes. Yes. Wouldn't that be fun?
It would. It would, right? So I think that it's like, I guess one of the things that I would love for anyone that's in the audience to understand is that really, how do they begin to anchor some of this into their daily life, or even either daily life or weekly life, or anything that's just, how do you anchor this in outside of how you see yourself in a role? How do you do that?
So I think what I've learned is part of slowing down allows me to experience things from a sensory level, right? And so I've had to stop multitasking.
Right.
Because I'm really good for that. I can have like this iPad on, and then I can brush my teeth while I'm listening to this thing, right? Like it's all these different things, because usually we're just trying to get a lot of stuff done. But when we do that, our senses don't get to just be and enjoy. And so what I've done is said, how can I take this simple task, whatever I have to do, and be extra?
Oh.
Right? So let me give you an example. So everybody brushes their teeth in the morning. It's like a regular thing we do. We don't even think about it. Mm-hmm. My thought was, I can make this extra by changing the lighting when I do it. Mm-hmm. I'm using soft lights in the bathroom. I'm not turning on the big light. Mm-hmm. I might light a candle just to brush my teeth. Right? Because now I'm just connecting to the moment. I'm playing music while I'm brushing my teeth. I'm not directing my attention to something else that needs me.
Oh, yes. Right?
Yeah.
Because we are always doing that.
Yep.
It's like 900. It's like on 1,000 that we're doing that. Directing our energy towards something that needs us.
Yeah, while trying to care for ourselves. No. I have clients that will tell me when they eat, they're standing up because they're trying to manage kids. They want to hurry up and clean up because they know they don't want to have to do that after. They haven't even had a chance to just fuel themselves and enjoy their food.
I know.
Because other things need their attention, and then that takes priority over self. And we have to stop doing that. I had to say, I'm not going to do that anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that.
I think that's so good.
I'm important.
Yeah.
I'm really important.
And I'm worth this time. Even if that time is morning brushing my teeth time, right? I'm big on, for me, I love baths.
Yeah.
And I had kind of, in me playing the role of wife and mother, and I was minimizing those, like, that time with myself.
Yeah.
So in me reclaiming it, I was like, sometimes the kitchen will be a wreck. Like, there may be laundry.
Yes.
But I'm going to go in here and I'm going to take my bath.
Yep, good.
And I'm going to light my
for you.
candles.
Yeah.
Because all of that stuff can wait.
And it'll be there.
It'll be there. It'll be right there. So just beginning to, that's how we kind of anchor it in, is just really being able to have these present moments with ourselves.
Yep. And doing it every day.
Okay.
In some way, every day, there's got to be an intentional slowing down and prioritizing of self.
I like that. Not when you're in the Starbucks line.
No.
Don't do it then.
No.
When you're trying to get your matcha, you know what I mean? Don't do it then. That doesn't count. Or when you're doing pickup for the kids, that doesn't count.
Yep.
It could count.
So what I consider for those things that are connected to doing something you have to do, those are just bonus moments.
Okay.
That's it. So play that song loud in the car that uplifts your spirit. That's caring for yourself.
Yeah.
That's being intentional. But don't do that while checking email on your phone, while in the Starbucks line, you see what I'm saying? Like, once we start piling on multiple things that divides our attention,
right,
nothing gets all of it.
Oh, that's so, yeah. Yeah. Because I'm good for that. I'm good for listening to the music and checking the email and checking. I have two phones, so I'm checking the other phone and I'm talking and I'm waiting, and then I got to wave at the PTA moms and like talk to people sometimes I don't want to talk to and be like, hey, what's going on? And like being in that vibe. Yeah. I think also one of the things that it may or may not be relevant, but like sometimes doing something outside of my routine.
Yeah.
Right? Like sometimes if I'm normally doing the same things all the time, especially I'm a Sagittarius, so we thrive on a little spontaneity.
Okay.
We love a little spontaneous moment. So I think for me, sometimes setting myself outside of just like everything I do, right? And sometimes, like you said, I'll sit and I may or may not have a glass of wine and just like in my chill space with my jazz music, and I'm just kind of like taking that time for myself. Right? And I know that it's not always feasible every single day or every single, I know for myself, just like but I am intentional with myself in that way now.
Good.
Right? I'm much more intentional with myself.
Yeah.
Which I think is a part of this, right?
It is. And I think the thing we have to remember is it just takes moments. I think sometimes I used to get boggled down with this idea that it had to be this like hour-long thing that I was doing. Who said that?
Right?
Who said, right? Like, if you don't have time for that, fit in what works for you, but don't eliminate it. Just modify it. Don't skip it because you're like, oh, I don't have time for that. You have 5 minutes for something.
Yeah.
You have 5 minutes for something.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's why it can be daily. And then on the times when you can extend it, extend it. Yeah.
I love that.
But I like to date myself.
Right?
Yeah.
I haven't been out. Me and myself and I haven't been out on a date in a little bit.
Oh, you all might need that.
Yeah. We do need that.
Yes.
It's a good thing. I will take myself out to dinner every now and then, but I think that sometimes just like a full date.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And getting cute
Yes.
and doing all the
I
things.
love it. Yes.
And I think that's important even when you're in partnership.
100. I feel like it's more important. Because when you're not in partnership, you have more time to do it.
Yeah.
In partnership, you're saying most of my time I want to spend with my person, right? Which is great. But for the health of the relationship, your partner needs you to be good with you.
How would you suggest someone setting up that conversation with their partner? Because I know that there are times when your partner may feel like, oh, well, what you don't. We talked about need, right? Yeah. Oh, you don't need me now. Oh, so you got to take yourself out. You don't need me to take you out. You know what I mean? Or they might feel that it's a slight to what they're doing or what they're bringing forward or what they're able to produce for you. So how do you just communicate that to your partner that you need that time or that you want to take that time or how they could be supportive of you while you're taking it?
So there's a trick to it. I'm chuckling because I've seen this play out. Okay. So essentially what you do is you start with a line of questioning that gets your partner to be able to share the things that they actually like to do by themselves.
Okay. Because
once you do that, they can relate. So then it's easy to say, I want to be able to have that for myself. So for example, if you say to your partner, like, what's some of the things you just love to do by yourself? Oh, play golf, or I'm really
gun range, or whatever the thing is. Yeah. Basketball.
Yeah. What do you feel when you get to do that? Right? Like you really get to talk to them about that experience. And then you transfer it to yourself. So when I go to the movies by myself, I get that same feeling you get when you go to the gun range. Oh, well, that's okay. So are you able to see how important that is for me the same way those activities are important for you? Because unfortunately, typically for women, the activities that they want to do with themselves, they already do with their partner.
That's true.
Where their partner often has different interests. You might want to go to the gun range. I don't know. But maybe they have something where they're like, well, that's not something you like anyway. It only becomes an issue when it's something of shared interest.
Yeah.
Because then it's like, well, you don't need me to be there?
Yeah.
Right. And it's like, that's not the point.
Yeah.
It's the experience of and the feeling I get when I get to do that independently.
Yeah. And I think that I don't know, that's so good. Because sometimes we're not always comfortable because we don't want to hurt our person's feelings. Of
course.
Right? We don't want to offend our person. We don't want to hurt our person's feelings.
Yes.
Especially if we sometimes depending on what your love language is, right? If your love language is quality time, and you love getting that from your partner, and then you also on the back end are saying, yes, but I need to spend a little quality time at myself, it can feel a little bit jaunting and confusing to your partner. Like, oh, you need me, want me there all the time, for all of these things. And now it's, okay, well, I need to spend this time by myself or to do this thing by myself. And I think that everything around the conversations that we are having, I want to say that it's important to understand that I think that they're gender fluid.
Yes.
Because a
100%.
lot of times, because a lot of times we look at these conversations and we're like, oh, women. But when are the men deciding to take some time for themselves?
Yes.
Right? When are you as a man deciding to understand more about yourself and what you desire and what feels good to you, and kind of like having a level of intimacy with yourself that I feel like is probably unheard of for men, right? Yeah. But it's a space for them to be present with themselves, to understand what's happening within their psyche, to understand. And I think that it's very beautiful for a woman to be able to create, to help co-create in that, having that environment.
Absolutely.
Right? Yes. To be able to say, how do you, that's going to be one of my dating questions.
What is it?
Like, how do you practice intimacy for yourself?
And self-care.
Yes, and self-care. I did ask, I was talking to a friend because I was like, okay, when I get fully out in this dating scene, like, what questions will I want to know to help me understand how a man loves himself? Yeah. Because I think that oftentimes we don't often acknowledge how men love themselves. Yeah. And not from a place of like ego. Right? Yes. From outside of the ego, from truly accepting, like, your self-love. What does self-love look like for you as a man? And I'm not talking about self-care. I'm not talking about, oh, I go to the barbershop, or I do this thing, or I go do this. How do you curate love for yourself? Yeah. Right? And what does that feel like? And if you aren't doing it, what could it feel like? What parts of you are you not accepting? Yeah. Right. As a man, I think those are powerful, questions, so that we can build intimacy. Right. Yes. I want to build with you. Yes. I want to do these things with you. So how do I know unless you're able to be vulnerable with me and tell me? Yep.
But I think that's a good way to kind of triage people out.
Really.
Because if they're not willing to expose themselves early on in the dating process, then you already know what you're up against, and you don't really have to waste your time.
I know.
We don't have time for that.
We don't.
I'm sorry. It's just
not at this big age, for sure.
No.
Yeah.
No.
And at this big age, I cannot with you. Like, we gotta get somewhere. You gotta have I need you to have done a little self-work.
Yes.
Somewhat. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And understanding more about yourself.
Absolutely. Let me tell you a question, though. I think you should ask.
Yes, okay.
When you're dating. Ask, what did they learn about themselves from their last relationship?
Listen.
Do you ask that?
Yes.
Okay, I love that question.
Yes, that is such an important question. Because I've talked to people and they were like, I didn't learn nothing. No.
Yep.
Cut.
That's right.
Listen, check. Please. Yes. Hey, you have a good one. You know what? It's been so good.
It's been fun.
Right. It's been so fun. I'll pay my portion. You know what I mean? Like,
because it says there's been no self-reflection. And there might be lack of ownership.
Listen.
Of behavior that impacted that past relationship. That's what I want to hear.
And accountability, right? Yes. Even if sometimes you were the person that may have had a certain significant, maybe a certain level of betrayal. Yes. Right? That you felt like a certain level of betrayal was inflicted on you in that partnership. I have said this, that even within my divorce, it was both of us. It wasn't just him, and it wasn't just me. It was both of us.
Absolutely.
Right? We were both got to a place where we needed to detach from each other, right? And we had gotten as far as we would get, right? And I think that, and I've learned so much more about myself, and I learned a lot about who I was, and who I was showing up as in that relationship to help me begin to do some recalibration work, right? There is some things that need to happen. I did, I showed up in masculine energy far more than my feminine. And why was I doing that? So I think that those are important things where you're like, okay, this relationship has ended. What did you learn, and how is it helping to make you better now, right? Yes. And to show up differently now, or just not in, and it's not even just show up differently. Yes. It's like, it's in your being, right? In being every day. What are you feeling? How are you existing differently? How is your heart? You know what I mean? In these spaces. I think this has been such an amazing conversation. I hope that everyone is getting some of these amazing gems that we have talked about, because I think that there is so much more. But before we kind of cap parts of this conversation off, is there anything that's important that you feel like you would want to share with the audience or anyone that's listening in relation to developing and building their roots, implanting their roots into intimacy?
I want people to know that healing never stops. And we never arrive. And so if we're not expecting that, we can be gentler with ourselves. And that gentleness is part of the intimacy that you can be rooted in.
I love that. I love that we don't arrive there. So you can remove that expectation of being like, well, once I get this done, then I'm fixed.
Yes. And then I can be fully seen and intimate.
Right.
No, you have to be willing to be truthful about where you are.
Woo! Listen.
And appreciate that the people that accept that and love you through that are the people that you want to be around.
Oh, that's it.
And if they can't, it's not because you exposed it. It's because they didn't have capacity. And that's okay.
And that's okay. That's all right.
Yep.
So as we think about any other spaces where we need to begin to discover, as we're cultivating intimacy in our worlds, what else, is there anything else that you think is necessary?
So I think it's important for people to walk away from listening to this conversation knowing that intimacy can begin anywhere in their journey. The moment the masks are taken off.
Oh, yeah. I love that. Intimacy can begin
in any part of our journey.
At any part of our journey.
Yes, but we have to remove the masks.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Take the mask off.
Yep.
Okay.
Because we've gotten good at the mask.
Now, we're so good at the masks because we've been wearing them for so long. And we've been putting them on for years because we wanted to. I know for me, I wanted to hide. Right? I was like, this version of me is going to be accepted. This is the acceptable version of me. This is the version of me that's going to be digestible for everybody. This is the version of me that can fit into this box for everybody. You're making me a little emotional. Ah,
But think about it. It was for everybody else.
yeah,
And then you suffer.
right.
Making sure that everyone else is okay.
Yeah,
Right?
I know. I
Yeah.
was. And I was you're putting on these masks for everyone else, but to know that, like, it's okay to take it off.
Yeah.
Mask off. That's why we're here.
That's right.
That's why we're here. This
Yep.
is mask off.
Masks off.
I
and
love
there
that.
blossoms love. Real love.
It does. And truth. And I have said so much more lately
Yeah.
that I don't think I've loved myself as much as I do now.
I love
think
that for
I don't think that
you.
I've ever loved myself as much as I do now. And I think that that's so powerful.
Extremely.
It is.
Yep. And I can see it.
Thank you. I know people are like, you got a little glow, and I'm
Yeah.
like, listen,
Yeah.
this self-love is tea.
Yes, it is.
And it's not always easy, because I do have to acknowledge some parts of me where I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, this is coming up right now, and that's a little dark. Not to say that it's dark, but sometimes it's not coming from a healthy place.
Yes.
Right? It's not always coming from the most healthy place, but I have to acknowledge it so it comes up. And sometimes when I say it's not coming from a healthy place, it's not necessarily inflicted towards someone else, it's towards me.
Yeah.
It's where I'm telling myself something.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, most of the things for me were not about me feeling a certain way about another person. It was like, oh, that was a bad decision, Amelia. You should be smarter than that. You should know better than that. You should, they're not going to value what you're saying in this conversation. You're this, that, and the other. And and I'm like, wait, stop.
Yes.
You're loved.
Yeah.
It's okay. Sometimes I'll be like, I'm lonely and I'm not talking to these, I don't have to. And I'm like, no, it's okay. You're being preserved.
Yes.
You're preserving your healing.
That's right.
It's okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
okay. And really beginning and accepting all of that within me, and accepting and understanding that, so that I can be out here.
Yes.
Mask off.
There we go.
Mask off.
Masks
I
off.
love that.
Yes.
So, okay,
Yes.
how does everyone find you? How can they work with you? Are you
Yeah.
accepting new clients?
question.
Like, what's tea?
Yes. So everyone can connect with me on Instagram. You can connect with me on Instagram. And it's K_spot_therapy.
Okay.
So K-Spot's therapy. Play on words, right? G-Spot.
Yes.
And unfortunately, right now, I'm not accepting any new clients. So
Y'all just
when
gonna
that
have to get this
changes-
content.
Yes, but when that changes in the future, I will let folks know.
Do you have will you have like a waiting list, or do you have like a place for individuals to like either subscribe, or just like, is it just follow, and as you get more time, you'll be able to kind of open things up?
That's exactly it. So if
Okay.
you're connected with me on social media, when that time comes,
That's perfect.
they'll know.
I love that.
Yep.
I love that, because
Yes.
these conversations are amazing. As I said, I started by following you
Yeah.
on social media, and I was just like, listen, I'm getting comfortable with some things that I needed to
good.
learn about and
That's
get more
wonderful.
comfortable with for myself.
Yeah.
And products and different things.
Yes.
And as I'm building into intimate practices with my partner and getting
Yeah.
comfortable with that, and a healthy sex life is
Yeah.
so important. This has been beautiful.
Yes.
I honor you. Thank you so much for this
much.
conversation.
Yes.
This was so wonderful. Thank you so
Yes.
much.
Thank you.